The Caribbean island no one talks about, but everyone should visit Grenada. Grenada, a small island nation tucked away in the southeastern Caribbean Sea, often goes unnoticed in global travel conversations. While people rush to see Jamaica, Barbados, or the Bahamas, Grenada quietly sits just north of Trinidad and Tobago, carrying a charm that feels untouched by time. With a population of about 125,000 people, it's one of the smaller nations in the region, yet its energy and warmth could fill an entire continent. Its people are mostly of African descent, with English as the official language and Christianity as the dominant religion. Colonized first by the French in the 17th century and later ruled by the British, Grenada gained its independence in 1974, and since then, it's been shaping its own identity as a peaceful and proud island. It's not the kind of place where luxury overshadows authenticity, it's the kind of place where you can still walk down the street and be greeted with a smile that feels real. But while most travelers focus on bigger Caribbean names, Grenada quietly remains one of the most underrated islands in the world. Today, we'll look at 10 real reasons why this country deserves to be on your travel bucket list. The first reason is affordability, something most people don't expect when they think about the Caribbean. While destinations like the Bahamas or St. Lucia can easily burn a hole in your pocket, Grenada offers a more balanced experience. You can find guest houses and Airbnb stays near the beaches for a fraction of the price you'd pay elsewhere. Local food is affordable and full of flavor. A plate of roti or freshly cooked seafood costs less than a fast food meal in most Western countries. Taxis, buses, and tours are also cheaper, making it easier to explore without feeling trapped by your budget. It's one of those rare islands where you can live well, eat well, and still save money while enjoying the full Caribbean atmosphere. Grenada gives travelers the Caribbean dream, but without the tourist tax. The second reason is safety, and that alone makes Grenada stand out. While many Caribbean nations struggle with rising crime rates, Grenada has managed to remain one of the safest islands in the region. Violent crime against tourists is extremely rare, and locals are known for their respect and calm attitude. It's common to walk around the capital, St. George's, at night and feel completely at ease, surrounded by peaceful streets and the sound of the ocean in the background. That kind of safety doesn't come from just law enforcement, it comes from community, and Grenada's people value that deeply. This sense of peace allows visitors to relax, disconnect, and simply enjoy their surroundings without worry. For solo travelers, especially women or older tourists, Grenada is one of those few Caribbean countries where you can truly feel secure. The third reason to visit is the island's natural beauty. Grenada isn't large, you can drive around it in just a few hours, yet every corner feels different. There are the soft, white sands of Grand Anse Beach, considered one of the most beautiful in the Caribbean, stretching calmly under golden sunsets. There are mountain trails, rainforests, and waterfalls like Annandale and Concord, where you can feel the raw pulse of nature. The island is filled with tropical flowers, green hills, and the sound of birds blending with ocean waves. You don't need to go far to see something stunning. Grenada proves that beauty doesn't need to be exaggerated, it's just there, naturally. The fourth reason is the spice heritage, the reason many call Grenada the island of spice. Nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, and cocoa aren't just products here, they're part of life. Grenada once produced nearly 40% of the world's nutmeg supply, and even today, spice farms remain a big part of its identity. You can walk through a local market and literally smell the sweetness in the air. Many families depend on spice cultivation, passing down the trade from one generation to another. Visitors can tour spice estates, learn how the crops are grown and processed, and even buy handmade products to take home. It's not industrial, it's personal, a reflection of how Grenadians stay connected to their roots and to the land that sustains them. The fifth reason is the weather, which might sound simple, but it's one of Grenada's biggest gifts. The island enjoys a tropical climate that stays warm and pleasant all year round. With average temperatures between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius, it's rarely too hot or too cold. Even during the rainy season, showers pass quickly, leaving behind fresh air and clearer skies. Unlike some islands, Grenada isn't hit by hurricanes as frequently, making it a relatively stable and predictable place for travelers. Whether it's January or July, the sea is warm, the air is soft, and the sunsets are worth stopping for. It's the kind of weather that makes you forget time exists. The sixth reason is culture and festivals, especially the famous Spice Mars Carnival. This annual celebration takes over the island every August with colorful costumes, street parades, drums, and music that echoes through every corner of the capital. But even outside of festival season, Grenada's culture is alive in its people, from calypso and reggae music to folk dances and local storytelling traditions. Every part of the island feels like a community that celebrates life in small, meaningful ways. It's not just about entertainment, it's about identity. When you see how Grenadians dance, sing, and come together, you understand what joy means in its most natural form. The seventh reason is underwater life, something that makes Grenada unique. The island is home to one of the world's first underwater sculpture parks, located off the coast of Molinier Bay. It's a hauntingly beautiful experience where art meets marine life, sculptures covered in coral, surrounded by schools of fish, creating a living museum beneath the sea. For divers and snorkelers, this is heaven. The clear waters offer visibility up to 30 meters, and the coral reefs are vibrant and healthy. There are also historic shipwrecks to explore, adding a touch of mystery for adventure seekers. It's one of those experiences that stay in your memory forever. The eighth reason to visit is the people. Grenadians are known for being friendly, polite, and genuinely happy to share their island with visitors. You'll notice how people make eye contact, smile, and greet strangers like neighbors. There's a certain calmness in the way they speak, the way they help, and the way they carry pride in their home. It's not forced hospitality, it's natural kindness. Many travelers leave saying that what they loved most about Grenada wasn't the beaches or the food, it was the people. And that says a lot about the kind of country it is. The ninth reason is the food, simple, fresh, and deeply satisfying. Grenada's national dish, oil down, is a hearty stew made with breadfruit, coconut milk, turmeric, and local vegetables. It's cooked slowly over fire and shared with family and neighbors, symbolizing unity. The island's cuisine blends African, Indian, and European influences, creating flavors that are comforting yet exciting. You can also find delicious rotis, grilled fish, or cocoa tea in small roadside shops that don't look fancy but serve unforgettable meals. It's not about gourmet dining here, it's about food made with love, and that's what makes it special. The 10th and final reason is peace, a feeling that's rare in today's world. Grenada isn't loud, crowded, or overrun by tourism. There's a sense of calm that wraps around you the moment you arrive. The roads are slow, the days stretch long, and the sounds of nature replace the noise of busy cities. You can spend hours sitting by the shore, watching fishermen bring in their catch, or wander through small villages where everyone knows the rhythm of life. It's the kind of peace that stays with you even after you leave. Grenada offers something that money can buy, our stillness. And yet, despite all this, Grenada doesn't try to sell itself too hard. There are no massive billboards or fancy campaigns shouting its name. The island seems content with being discovered by those who truly want to see it. It's not about being famous, it's about being real. And maybe that's why so many travelers who visit once return again. They come back not for the luxury, but for the feeling, that rare sense of belonging to a place that welcomes you without expectations. What makes Grenada even more interesting is how it has managed to hold on to its authenticity while slowly developing modern comforts. You'll find new eco-lodges, small boutique hotels, and sustainable tourism projects led by locals, not big corporations. The balance between nature and progress is handled carefully here. It's an example of how a small island can grow without losing its soul. That's a lesson many popular destinations could learn from. The capital, St. George's, is another hidden gem worth mentioning. With its colorful hillside houses, stone-built fortresses, and the busy Carronage Harbour, it's one of the most picturesque towns in the Caribbean. But unlike the glossy tourist ports elsewhere, St. George's feels lived in, alive, and real. You can see children playing by the docks, smell the spices drying in the sun, and hear church bells echo across the hills. It's a capital that feels more like a village, calm, charming, and full of character. For travelers looking for something different, something that feels human, Grenada offers exactly that. It's the perfect mix of relaxation, discovery, and culture, all in one compact, easy-to-explore island. You don't need a strict itinerary here, just a few days of wandering can show you more than any guidebook ever could. It's the kind of place that makes you slow down, breathe, and realize how beautiful simplicity can be. Many people describe Grenada as what the Caribbean used to be before mass tourism. And they're right. There are no skyscrapers or giant shopping malls here, just open markets, family-run guest houses, and quiet beaches that belong to everyone. The island still feels untouched, a rare thing in this age of overdevelopment. And maybe that's what makes it so refreshing. Grenada feels honest. Even for digital nomads or long-term travelers, Grenada is becoming a quiet favorite. The cost of living is lower than many Caribbean countries, internet access is reliable, and the island's visa policies are friendly. Some visitors come for a week and end up staying months. There's a charm in its simplicity that slowly grows on you. It's not the kind of place that overwhelms you, it's the kind that heals you. Beyond tourism, Grenada's story is one of resilience. The island has faced hurricanes, economic challenges, and even political turbulence in the past, yet it always finds a way to rebuild stronger. The people's optimism is not naive, it's built on experience. They've learned to live with nature, to respect it, and to celebrate life no matter what comes their way. That spirit of endurance gives the island a quiet strength that visitors can feel. At the end of the day, what makes Grenada special isn't one thing, it's the combination of everything. The safety, affordability, natural beauty, culture, food, and peace all come together to form something deeper. It's not about tourism, it's about connection. When you visit Grenada, you don't just see a place, you feel a way of life. So maybe the world should start paying more attention to this small island nation that doesn't beg for attention. Maybe the next time you plan a Caribbean getaway, you should skip the crowded resorts and choose the island that still remembers what the Caribbean truly means. Because Grenada isn't just another destination, it's the Caribbean's best-kept promise, quietly waiting for those who are willing to look beyond the obvious. For all its calm beauty and easygoing charm, Grenada, like every place on Earth, has its own realities that travelers should understand before stepping foot on its shores. It's easy to look at photos of beaches and imagine a perfect paradise where nothing ever goes wrong, but that wouldn't be fair to the island or to those planning to visit. Grenada isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity. And authenticity comes with small imperfections that make it human. So while the island has endless reasons to love it, there are also things that might surprise some visitors, things that don't take away from its magic but reveal its truth. One of the first things travelers notice is that life moves slowly here, very slowly. And for some, that's exactly what they're looking for, but for others used to fast-paced service and convenience, it can take a little adjustment. Stores close early, buses don't always run on time, and island time isn't just a saying, it's a lifestyle. Waiting an extra 10 or 15 minutes is considered normal. It's not laziness, it's just the rhythm of the island. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you start to enjoy it. But for those expecting quick service and non-stop movement, Grenada can feel like the world has pressed pause. Still, once that slow rhythm settles in, it's often the very thing that makes you fall in love with the place. Another aspect that stands out is the limited nightlife. Unlike larger Caribbean islands with booming clubs, casinos, and crowded bars, Grenada's nights are quiet. You won't find massive parties every night, and after 10 p.m., most towns are calm except for a few beach bars or local gatherings. Some travelers love this peace, finding it refreshing and safe, while others might feel it's too calm. It's not a place for those who want constant entertainment, it's a place for those who appreciate serenity and the sound of waves instead of speakers. The nightlife that does exist is local, simple, and friendly, less about glamour, more about connection. Then there's the transportation system, which can be both charming and frustrating depending on how you look at it. Grenada doesn't have trains or extensive public systems. Instead, it relies on minibuses that weave through narrow roads with reggae music playing and locals chatting. It's affordable and fun, but not always predictable. Buses run mostly during the day, and routes stop early in the evening. For travelers without a rental car, this can make moving around at night tricky. The roads themselves are narrow and winding, especially in the hills, which can be challenging for first-time drivers. Yet even with these challenges, there's something raw and real about the way transportation works. It feels local, unscripted, and alive. The infrastructure, too, tells a story of a small island still developing. Internet access is widely available, but not as fast or stable in every region. Power cuts can occasionally happen during storms or maintenance periods. Some rural areas don't have all the modern facilities visitors might be used to. And yet, these small inconveniences are often balanced by the warmth of the people and the simplicity of life. You quickly learn that the island values peace more than perfection. So while you may not find luxury in every corner, what you do find is sincerity, and that makes up for a lot. Another thing worth mentioning is the weather's unpredictability. Yes, Grenada has an incredible tropical climate, but being close to the equator means sudden rain showers can appear without warning. It's part of island life. One moment you're basking in sunshine, and the next you're running for cover under a coconut tree. For most visitors, it's more fun than frustrating, but it helps to know that planning outdoor trips sometimes requires flexibility. The rain never stays long, though, and it often leaves behind a fresher, greener world. The island seems to shine even brighter after a storm. For travelers who love variety in shopping or big retail experiences, Grenada might feel limited. There are no huge malls or international fashion stores here, only local shops and markets. You won't find a Starbucks or fast food chain on every corner, and that's both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, it keeps Grenada's character intact. On the other, it means fewer modern conveniences. Visitors who crave authenticity will love browsing handmade crafts and local art, but those used to urban comfort might miss the familiar feel of big brands. Still, it's in those small markets and family-run stalls that you find the soul of Grenada, faces, stories, and smiles that money can buy. The healthcare system is another aspect that travelers sometimes overlook. Grenada has good hospitals and clinics for its size, but medical facilities are not as advanced as those in larger countries. Serious cases are often airlifted to nearby islands or to the United States. For everyday needs, checkups, minor illnesses, or emergencies, the local system works well, but it's something visitors should understand before coming. This is why travel insurance is always a good idea, even for a place as peaceful as Grenada. The people are caring and the doctors skilled, but the island's small size means certain medical technologies are still developing. Another thing that defines Grenada is its conservative culture. While it's friendly and open, Grenadian society still holds traditional values. Public behavior, dress, and even language matter. Tourists walking shirtless through towns or wearing revealing clothes outside the beach areas might get a few stares. It's not judgment, it's cultural respect. The same goes for public displays of affection, which are seen as private matters. Understanding and respecting these social norms makes your stay smoother and more appreciated. For travelers who value culture, it's a chance to experience life beyond the tourist lens, to see how pride, religion, and community shape everyday life. Connectivity with the world is another factor some travelers mention. While Grenada's Maurice Bishop International Airport offers regular flights to the US, UK, and parts of the Caribbean, direct flights can be fewer compared to major destinations. That means some travelers have to connect through Barbados, Trinidad, or Miami, which can make travel slightly longer or costlier. But for many, that's exactly what keeps Grenada special. It's not overrun by mass tourism because it's not the easiest place to reach. Getting there feels like a small adventure, and the reward is that sense of being somewhere that still feels undiscovered. Another reality worth acknowledging is the slow economic growth. Grenada is a developing country, and while tourism is growing, not everyone benefits equally from it. Some communities still face unemployment, and rural areas can feel isolated. Yet, what stands out is the people's resilience. They find creative ways to make a living, from fishing and farming to selling crafts and guiding tours. This slow progress has a silver lining. It keeps Grenada humble and grounded. Visitors who understand this often end up respecting the island even more, seeing the beauty not just in its beaches but in its people's determination. For some visitors, the island's quietness might feel lonely after a few days. There are no skyscrapers, no non-stop events, and no flashy attractions. Time moves gently, and if you're someone who craves constant stimulation, Grenada's calmness might feel like too much peace. But for others, that silence becomes the reason they fall in love. It gives space for reflection, conversation, and rest, things the modern world often takes away. It's a place that teaches you to slow down, to notice the small things, and to realize that joy doesn't always come with noise. Local transportation fares and taxes can also surprise some visitors. While buses are cheap, taxis charge fixed prices that are higher than what many expect, especially for tourists. It's not about exploitation, it's simply how the system works in a small island economy where fuel and maintenance costs are high. The best approach is always to ask the price before the ride and, when possible, share trips or use local buses during the day. It's part of learning how island life balances simplicity and cost. Even the island's geography can be a challenge. Those lush hills and scenic mountain roads that make Grenada beautiful can also make traveling between towns longer than expected. Roads are narrow and curvy, and driving requires focus, especially when rain falls. But it's a small trade-off for the views you get: endless green slopes, ocean glimpses through palm trees, and villages nestled in the hills. For adventure lovers, it's paradise. For nervous drivers, it might take a few days to get used to. When it comes to internet-based work or digital nomads, Grenada is improving fast but still catching up. The main towns have reliable connections, but rural areas may experience occasional slow speeds. Cafes with strong Wi-Fi exist, but they're not everywhere. For those coming to relax, this is never an issue. For those coming to work remotely, it's better to stay near the main hubs like St. George's or Grand Anse, where service is more consistent. Yet, the upside is obvious: when the Wi-Fi drops, the beach is never far away. Hurricane season is another reality, even though Grenada is less affected than many Caribbean islands. From June to November, the region faces higher chances of storms. Most years pass quietly, but nature is unpredictable. The island is well prepared, and modern warnings keep everyone safe, but travelers should always check forecasts when booking trips during that time. For many, it's not a reason to avoid visiting, it's just part of understanding how life works in tropical regions where beauty and power coexist. Grenada's small size also means that, after a while, you might feel you've seen it all, especially if you're someone who loves endless variety. You can drive around the island in a day, and while every part is beautiful, it's not a destination built for those who need constant change. It's for people who appreciate depth over quantity, who can sit on the same beach 3 days in a row and still find something new in the waves. It's less about doing everything and more about feeling everything. Another small challenge is import cost, which affects both locals and visitors. Because Grenada imports many goods, items like electronics, cars, and even groceries can be pricier than in larger economies. Travelers might notice that certain products cost more than expected, even simple ones. But that's part of island economics: limited space, limited supply, and high import duties. For tourists visiting short-term, it rarely becomes an issue, but it's something to keep in mind. And lastly, there's the emotional challenge of leaving, something few talk about, but most feel. Grenada has a way of growing on you quietly. You come expecting a simple vacation, but the calm pace, the genuine people, and the everyday honesty stay with you long after you've gone home. You realize that what you once thought were downsides, the slow pace, the quiet nights, the lack of big brands, were actually the reasons you felt free. It's a place that doesn't chase perfection, and that's what makes it unforgettable.